Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? This right here is the 2023 Bentley Bentayga Azure extended wheelbase, and I'm gonna give you guys an outside walk around, an inside tour, and show you everything you need to know about it. All right guys, so just starting off, we have to talk about the price because this thing sits at $263,500, exactly how it's equipped right here. So we all know what the Bentley Bentayga is because it's been out for a good amount of years now, but this one has a lot of differences that make it unique because it's the extended wheelbase, because it's the Azure, and because of the options this one's specifically equipped with. So I just want to make sure I preface that before we get into it because this is a unique setup here. Starting with the front, one of the biggest things you get with the Azure is the unique front design, and not the fact that it's a the Bentley, but the fact that you get the vertical slats here on the grille as one of like the key visual attributes for this car. But aside from that, you see up front here, you do get that front camera as part of the 360 surround view camera system, but this also has the extended chrome lower grille. It's also on the side grille, and if you look closely, these are like your radars for your radar cruise control. And there also is another camera here, and I believe that's part of the night vision camera, which we'll show you once we get inside, because that's a cool feature to have. You do get parking sensors around the front, obviously you expect that. And there is this, like, not really a skid plate because it is plastic, but it exists and it is there stylistically, I guess. But moving on top, you have the crystal LED headlights, which look insane. I feel like even the camera doesn't do it that much justice. It kind of supposed to look like a Scotch glass, but they look awesome even at night. I mean, during the day, they look really good too. And these are also your daytime running lights. They're circles, and when you turn into a certain signal, it changes that as well. Taking a step back here, it looks iconic. Bentley, you get the B up front, right there with the wings. That looks great. This one comes in a nice green. I need to put the name because I won't be able to pronounce it, honestly, but looks amazing. These are the wheels. These are the 22-inch 285 40 series sidewall. These are the painted 22-inch 10-spoke wheels. They're sitting on P0 tires by Pirelli. Going on the side here, this one does have a B. They aren't functional. It's just like a trim piece, so it looks cool, but nothing really like functional as far as the event goes. The next thing you'll notice as far as like a designation for this car is the Azure badge right here. And that used to be a dedicated Bentley model, but it is now just a trim for this Bentayga. Going on the side, you have color matched side view mirror caps. A bird did poop on this just before I filmed. I'm pretty upset about it. But it just comes to show that birds poop on all cars. They don't discriminate. So that's good to know. Going up top here, you do have your roof railing. It is a full glass roof. And then you do have keyless entry going on every single door. That's expected. A nice chrome line that goes around the bottom. And then the rear door. This is a significantly longer rear door because it is a significantly longer vehicle. I believe it's like 7 inches longer than a standard Bentayga, and all of that went to the rear. And we'll show you what that means when we show the back seats. But once we walk around that, then we'll get into it. But yeah, keyless entry and go here on the rear doors as well. And they had to completely, change the body lines because of this rear door. It's unique to this vehicle. It doesn't share the same as the shorter wheelbase because this door is a completely different panel, right? You have your fuel cap. This one is the first edition, so you get a bunch of unique placards and identifiers there, as well as some nice trim on the inside, which we'll get into. But going around the side here, it is a nice kind of clamshell hatch. As you can see here, you get a deck lit spoiler. I wish they put the side view mirror on the top, so it's tucked in. It makes the design look a lot better, in my opinion. But if we come around the side, back here, you get your oval exhaust that's split down the middle, which look good, very classy. Fit the rear bumper really nicely. You get 2 sets of rear taillights. The bottom one are due to regulations because if the top one because it's on the clamshell lift back, if it opens up, they won't be visible when the car is parked. Let's say on the side of the road in an emergency, you need to have visible rear taillights. So those are on there for that reason. I'll show you guys the trunk space real quick. It says Bentley. There is no Bentayga lettering on this. You press the B and it opens it up for you. And this is what you're looking at as far as rear storage goes. These are not split 60-40 seats. None of that here. You just get, your space saver tire, your subwoofer, all that stuff. You can raise and lower the rear like you can on other vehicles to make it easier to load things in if you'd like. This one does have a leather a covered privacy cover. That's redundant. And these lines go up to these nice chrome finished little hooks right there. But the rest is carpet line, which is nice. I'm glad it's not like plastic. I think it's a nice touch, and then carpeting all on the side and inside. You get a railing here if you want to put some cleats that they will gladly sell you for sure a lot of money. And then the little netting here with a 12 volt. So that's the rear. Pretty straightforward to get trunk space in a Bentley. So let's close this up. Press that button right there. Comes down pretty nicely. Like I said, the rear taillights move down with it because of that clamshell design. But let's hop into the second row first. I would hop into the first row usually. But let's go around this side and get into the back seats, because this is where things get really interesting. So huge doors, right? They are assisted. They won't open for you, but they do make it easier for you to open. And this is actually the furthest they open. They don't open that far out, but they're a huge door, so they take up a lot of space. So if you're opening this in a tight parking spot, it's gonna be hard to get out, practically speaking. But you don't park this in a normal parking spot, because look what you're getting into here. Start with the door panel. The leather work here, it's a two-tone. It's got green and this off-white. It's not actual white, with a perforation and stitching. Everything here is hand stitched. And these things are perforated because there's actually ambient lighting that passes through there. You do get your recline controls right here for the seats, which we'll show you. We'll show you that. You do also get Bentley branded headphones, and then a memory seat setting, 2 switches, your handle, this nice wood inlay with this nice trim here, which you'll see throughout the interior, which is gonna work. So I can show you, if you pull it up once, you get this huge shade which covers the entire window. This window is massive, and if I close it and I bring down the actual window just part way so you guys can see it, I stop it right there, you can see this is a insulated, noise insulated glass. It's dual pane with tint in between from the factory. That's what you know, it's from the factory. That's how they do it. And these are very thick panels of glass in order to not bring in a lot of noise. People don't want that when they want a nice luxurious experience. Everything here is luxurious. Quilt, very nice leather. And then you get your name sound system right here, which is a 20 speaker sound system. And we'll get into that a little bit when we show the rest of the car. But let's get into it, guys. You do get a touchscreen. That's pretty standard. You can actually remove this if you don't want it. You get this nice veneer on this fold out table, which comes out just like that. It is wrapped in leather, very nice leather. You can fold that in. Feels very solid. And then these are the seats. These are the airline specification seats. They adjust 22 different ways. These are your settings, guys. If you can memorize all these buttons, great. Nice thing is you don't need to. These seats are centered, like you know, side sliding back and forth, your thigh extension, recline, headrest controls, side bolsters, lower bolsters, your footrest, which will show you there's that. I guess it's just not doing it right now. And this is your massage and posture controls, as well as your lumbar support. Let's look at the seats, guys. Perforated, heated, ventilated, like I said, massaging, and then there's a posture control, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. But these seats are amazing. Very nice, very supple leather. You get this Alcantara suede pillow, which is super plush, very fluffy, very luxurious. I'm sure you guys can imagine. But let's actually get inside here and show you the best way to control it. So I'm gonna tap on this little tab. You get this touchscreen here, which you can access hotspot. You can hook in peripherals right here. You have your USB and then your HDMI. If you want to get into that, you can access that. But this touchscreen right here is a little different. If I hit the eject button, it pops out. It's magnetically attached. I can just pull it, and I have control over everything inside this car. Let's wipe this because it's hot. Jeez. Okay. This car's been sitting outside for a little bit, so just bear with me here. You get every control you could think of. Your media, radio, that's substandard. Your climate, we expect that back here, right? Your blinds, you can control that. Tap this here, it brings the sunroof up. You can stop that. Your sides, you can tap that once, and it'll bring it up right there. You can stop that. Open all of them. Close all of them if you'd like. But but let's keep going through this right here. Lighting, if you want to control your ambient lighting, that's really nice at night. Really take advantage of that. Sound settings. Then you have your airline or your car settings. Real quick, we'll get into that. It's just specs, not specs. Pretty much like data on your trip. Pretty standard stuff. You have your airline seats, guys. This is where it gets nice, real nice. You have your adjustments if you want to control it here versus the switch gear that's down here, right? Your heated and ventilated controls right there, both passenger and driver. You can run the heating and ventilating at the same time, which is, I guess, interesting if you want some type of like temperature therapy. I'm gonna turn on the ventilation because I'm getting pretty toasty, not gonna lie. Oh, it feels good. And then you have your massage and your posture controls. So massaging, we understand, has been on Bentley for other vehicles and stuff, where you can the type of massage you want. You tap here, and you can, once you turn it on, we'll turn one on, right? Stretch, and then the intensity, right? We could do a nice maximum. That's what it's at right now. And what it does is it pushes out air pockets in a certain configuration, depending on the massage you want. And it feels great on longer drives. And all 4 seats can do this, by the way. All of them have the massage functionality. What the back 2 seats have is the posture control. And that's different because there's different types of posture controls, all back and twist. And it is to encourage, blood circulation, reduce fatigue on longer drives. And it uses the same mechanism. It'll just be a lot slower and a lot more gradual. That's the same thing. What am I saying? It's a lot slower and it's in a different configuration than a massage because it's meant to improve circulation. So that basically you don't feel like you've been sitting down for hours and you just get tired, right? So you get that, right? And then you have these down here. You have VIP, which is you control everything you want for the front seat. You can push this forward, push it back, all that good stuff. And then you have your 2. If I go back, you can see these 2 right here. You have business and relaxed. I'm in business mode. Business mode is standard. Relaxed, if I hold this, the seat, gets fully reclined 40 degrees. I'm actually going to step outside here while this whole thing happens. Just grab this real quick. We'll show you guys what happens here. So, go airline seat. You can't really see it, but I'm going to hold it. The seat reclines 40 degrees back, and it pushes the seat all the way forward, gets it into the, far forward position, slides it, lowers it, because what's going to happen is the leg rest is going to pop out, and the seat's going to tilt all the way forward, so you can really recline. The thigh extension goes all the way forward, as you guys noticed right there, and that is your leg rest. Nice, it's carpeted, feels good, and you can just put your right leg on that, no issues. And then once you're done relaxing, get into business mode, you hold that, and it returns everything to how it was. But like I said, guys, you do have your memory control right here, so you can control that. So you have a nice little memory setting you want to stick to, which is nice because 22 ways is a lot to remember exactly what kind of configuration you want. So it's good that they do that. And then you have this touchscreen right here to control it whenever you want. You just kind of slap that in there, magnetically latches on, and you can eject it whenever you want. But let's show the rest of this interior because it gets even crazier. You do have speakers up here, you have vents, nice little hook right here for hanging items, clothing, suits, stuff like that. Let's hop inside again and show you the rest of this. All right, we showed you that tablet, you have vents. This is how you open and close, and you push, pull to open, push to close. This button right here will actually close the door for you. They don't open for you, they just close it. And it's got that soft close that takes care of the rest. But yeah, you can just open it. And I'll show you another way you can have this door close itself automatically. But let's continue on here. You have a wireless charger, 2 USB-C ports, a 12 volt. Nice here, I like that integration. Very good addition of a wireless charger. Cars typically only have 1. This one has 2. Push this button right here. Comes out with a storage compartment, nice deep cubby. It's lined on the sides with this nice felt and then rubber on the bottom. You get cup holders, not the hugest of cup holders. These are armrests, so they slide forward if you'd like. And then there's storage here with USB-C ports and a 12 volt. On the back here, you have this little tab, leather tab. It's very luxurious. You just, pull it, and then you get access to the rear storage. And then you get access to the rear storage just like that. It's carpeted. It's magnetically latching, so it won't just flap around even if this is not tied on. But yeah, you could get a cooler here with some champagne flutes if you'd like that, but we didn't get that one, all right? So I'm not going to say that's it with the back because there's a lot more. I mean, leather all throughout the interior, leather handles, a reading lamp, which you can turn on, open and close. And that's nice. It's just leather everywhere. These pillows, I think, are insanely nice. And then there's just loads of leg room here. Kind of recline and stretch out. So, yeah, let me show you the other way to close this door. I did promise you guys that. And technically, if you just start pushing it, you let go, it does the rest of it for you. And that's it. If you don't push enough, you just kind of bring it forward, it won't take it away from there. It senses the difference. There's a certain level of effort you have to put into it for it to take it over. So yeah, that's just another cool way that closing door mechanism works. On the passenger side, it's the same deal, but you do not get the leg rest, obviously, because there's a driver in front of you. So that's kind of normally how things go. But you do get a little mat pocket here. Just want to point that out. Same 22-way adjustable seats. So nothing different there. And same thing with the doors. You just push them and they close for you. I guess a lot of cars do that. So I guess your cars have some pretty luxurious features. Going to the front, guys, same dual pane insulated glass with a tint that you can see right there. Open up the door. It's a little different than the back, right? Which makes sense. Different design. Obviously, it's a smaller door. Same leather treatment, same quilting, same stitching. More switch gear. You have child locks here in case you put kids back there. And your mirror controls. You have 2 memory settings. Your rear trunk opening right there. Same name speaker grills right there. And then if you go to the front, guys, yeah, that's you open your hood, which we'll talk about specs, the powertrain of this engine. And then you have Bentley B on the brake pedal. They didn't put on the gas because they don't want people thinking that the B is the gas pedal. It is the brake. And then you have Azure ran on the side still here. It's aluminum, which is nice. And the rest is just leather, guys. Leather everywhere and leather for days. These seats are also 22-way adjusting, but they don't have the same pillows. These have like those airline seats that kind of, you could fold them, open them up, and tighten them up if you want to have more of like a support around your head, which is nice. They're also heated, ventilated, and massaging. You expect that. Right here are your blind spot controls. You press this button and it gives you a night vision, which will show you guys that. Headlight controls, your heads up display, adjust the position as well, turn it on or off. And then if you want to adjust your brightness for the gauge cluster display, you do that right there. Nice toggles, it works. Going inside here, I'm gonna start it up for you. You put your foot on that B for brake, press the engine start button, and it turns on. I'm gonna close this up here. Get a nice quiet. And I'm gonna get the AC going because it is hot in here. So, like I said, guys, that night vision button, I press that. It does work during the days. It'll initialize, and it's like a thermal camera. So depending on heat, it'll detect that, and it's good for nighttime driving. It is a very zoomed in view because it's helping you see things ahead, so you can react to them sooner if something does come out in a really dark road. You have that additional information, which is nice. You just disable it by pressing it again, and you're all set there. Right, digital gauge cluster display. As you can see, a similar switchgear from like the Audi, Volkswagen group. You get knurled kind of chrome finishing here. This Bentley, little nice, solid confidence right there, I guess. Heated steering wheel. This 2-tone leather strap steering wheel is very nice. You have customization of different views. If you'd like into the different modes, you can switch to any of those, navigation, all that good stuff, right? So, and then you also get telemetry, because this is technically capable of off-roading. It's got an all-wheel drive system, and we can show you guys that. So let's first move on to the top of your dash. Your heads-up display right there, right there. It looks identical to what's on an Audi. Nothing different from that standpoint. As far as the touchscreen, you do get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Nothing really crazy from a Bentley specific standpoint as far as the tech goes from what I've seen, and I've scrolled through a lot of these different menus. But this is a Bentley clock. It's not a Breitling clock. That is an option. Like I said, these are events right here, and they're very nice. I love messing around with that. This nice little character line goes all the way down and up, kind of like a double cowl, kind of like a Mustang, how they do it. That nice inlay, first edition on the dash, inside as well as on the outside that I showed you guys earlier. and a glove box right down here, right? So moving on down, you can control everything from this knob. You have your volume, your media, all that stuff. Your AC controls are physical buttons, but if you ever want to control that from the touchscreen, you're more than welcome to, but they have physical buttons. One thing I want to point out, so I thought this was an identical replica of the interior. It almost is, but it quite isn't perfect, right? So if you look at the main difference, the main difference here is the steering wheel as well as the first edition. It's close, but the steering wheel is slightly different. Take a look at that, guys. It is a different steering wheel. Now that two-tone in the middle, this middle inseam where the two different leather colored panels are meeting, it's not the same there. And then the middle is green here where it's not on there. It's a nice touch. I would have said it's a perfect attention to detail if it was a 1-for-1 with the first badge and the pinstriping that they put there. That would have been amazing, but it's not the case. So just got to be honest there. Going down here, you do have a wireless charger. I've tested the wireless charger front. I didn't test the one in the back, but I'm assuming it's the same component, right? Makes your phone pretty warm. And my phone had actually stopped charging because it got too hot. This was during a nighttime drive when it wasn't hot outside or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. This is what the key looks like. It's a nice, very hefty, big old key with B right here. You have your lock, unlock, rear trunk, panic, and it's nice metal knurling on the side. Feels really nice. As far as the shifter goes, you push your B right here, go into drive, reverse, neutral, park brake. This is a park assist, and there's another park assist. This is the park distance control. This if you want to do a park assist where it'll turn in for you, but I think you have to apply the brakes for the system. Parking brake, auto start stop, and then traction control, hill descent. All your drive controls here. So you have, let's get into 1X here. You have sport, which will lower the car. B, Bentley mode, that's like a general mode. Comfort, custom. Then you have, we'll just go here, we'll look at them honestly. Let me see if it shows them up. I don't know what that is, but it looks like snowflakes and something else. This looks like, yeah, I don't even know what all these ones are. Let's see if we can go home here. It doesn't tell me what modes I'm in. But if your outside looks kind of like one of these icons, then you just go to it, like cactus. Yeah, if you see cactus, you get into cactus mode, you know? But you can switch to all of them. You have your auto start stop, and it'll automatically get you into turning off auto start stop if you're into sport, for example. And right here, you have your different height adjustments. So you can manually control to lower it or lock it. And then in these ones, it will raise it. So just keep that in mind. So you have a nice little cubby here for your phone. And then you have center storage here. We have 2 USB-C ports. And that's pretty much it. These are also armrests. So you just pull that forward if you want to extend that forward. We're going to go up top here. We have 2 separate visors. This one slides back. You expect everything here is leather, guys, because I didn't mention that already. You get 2 sun visors here, which is nice. Leather wrap. They feel great. I like it. I like it a lot. You get a regular side view or rear view mirror. I wish this was digital. That would have been a nice touch. You have your overhead controls, which consists of your panoramic glass roof. And I do want to mention that they pushed this back a few inches. There's a lot more front headliner because this is meant to cater towards the rear drivers in this car. So you have all this extended length. They didn't make it bigger. They pushed it back. So just keep that in mind. From a front driver standpoint, you're already not really seeing much above you. So I guess you're really not missing out on too much, but that's a big difference if you're considering to get this car. Your lights, shade, you have your microphone array up here, right? On the dash are some more speakers on the A-pillar, and all that good stuff. I'm gonna close this here. I'm gonna close this there. I do want to mention that this needs to be up for it to be willing to illuminate for your, if you're looking at yourself. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So let's talk about the engine real quick. I'm gonna power this thing off, open it up, and talk about the powertrain under this hood. Oh, that's hot. Okay. Lift it up here. Now this is the 4-liter V8. I'll put the horsepower and torque here so you guys can see it because this does not have the W12. That will be on the speed. So they don't put it on the kind of more high-end luxury one, which is unfortunate, but it is a V8 and it has more than enough horsepower. So 0 to 60, I don't think it matters too much, but I'll put the number there if you guys are interested. An aluminum oil cap, which is nice. Nice quilting on the sound deadening material up here, which is cool. And it's obviously, you don't need a prop rod because this is a Bentley, guys. All right. First thing we're gonna do is put on our seatbelt. First thing we want to do is get it into drive. Park and braking gauges once you start to tip into the throttle. Pretty standard stuff. Roll the windows up, and it's quiet. And this is in B mode. It'll have auto start stop engage, so it'll turn off the engine to save on gas. In comfort mode, it will not do that, and neither will it in sport mode. And it'll hold the gears longer in sport mode and all that good stuff. So let's do a quick drive. I've driven this so far around. Let me check real quick. Actually, hold up. We'll go down here. I've driven this 225 miles so far on highway, in traffic, around the city, and because of the longer wheelbase, it is a very comfortable ride. So it was already a very comfortable ride. The longer a wheelbase gets, the more comfortable it is, the more stable it feels on longer roads, on higher speeds, as well as around bumps and stuff. So makes it harder to park, but that's what you get in return. This does also have rear wheel steering, which turns in phase with the front wheels at lower speeds, out of phase at higher speeds, and it helps with making this vehicle more maneuverable. So you do have that, and then this is on air suspension, which does adjust the level based on your ride mode. So Bentley mode is pretty standard. It's your day-to-day. It's what it defaults to. If I get into sport here, just turning it over one, it'll kind of like in an Audi, you'll go to S1, S2, S3, tell you what gear you're in. You can take over, go into manual mode if you'd like. We're just gonna give it a little bit of gas. Whoa. Oh, and it farts on the upshifts. Yeah, that sounds good. And it pulls. This thing weighs a lot, but it still pulls. It gets on torque, and they definitely made this a fun car to drive. Yeah, it's nice. You can get in some trouble with this thing, that's for sure. It lowered the car, even though it doesn't show on the center gauge cluster. That's in the lower position because that's more for the accessibility height. I'm gonna lower the car for someone to get in and out more easily. It won't change that notch, even though this is technically a lower ride height. Ooh, yeah. And then when you're in, really getting on it, it will really chug gas. On the highway, I was getting around 22 mpg, which I can't complain about with given the size of this vehicle and the engine, the 4-liter V8. And I'm not 100% on this, but I experienced it in the Audi S8, which has also a 4-liter V8. Pretty sure it's pretty much the same thing. I don't know if it's significantly different. That's, had kind of the RS division had their part in it. I don't know if RS division has their part in it, but this engine's capable of doing cylinder deactivation, which I don't think is dependent on having the RS team touch it. So I'm not sure if that's at play here. It does not tell you if the cylinder deactivation is at play like it would on the Audi S8, like it does on the Corvette Stingray. So just keep that in mind. You'll never know how efficient you're being in this car unless you just look at the MPG. So yeah, I kind of want to launch this, so we'll see if we can find a place to do that. But let's get into comfort and see how much everything changes. I haven't noticed the steering wheel get any significantly lighter or stiffer in any of the modes. I haven't running this with a Canyon or anything, and I don't expect anyone to be honest. No one's taking a long wheelbase Bentley on a Canyon run. So, but it does, it makes the throttle like more forgiving. It's not as responsive. The suspension feels softer, dampers at least, and it's not any quieter. You're running on 22-inch wheels. I hear the tire noise, not tire noise, but like noise coming through the tire is something I have noticed. But it is a really well insulated vehicle. Like I said, these are running on Pirelli P0 tires that are made to come with this car from the factory. But we're here on some, like, you know, moderate roads with some bumps here and there, and it's handling it pretty fine. One thing I didn't want to mention about the speakers, the name sound system, is you get subwoofers in these seats, and when you're playing something with some bass, it feels nice. It's a cool experience. It really kind of gives you that feeling of bass. You don't have to wait for, like, to kind of listen to the subwoofer in the back or feel it resonate throughout the cabin. It's right underneath your back and your butt, so that's really nice. I like that. I think I can launch it here. I'm gonna get into sport, and I'm gonna turn traction control off. That's how you would engage the full launch control on a Continental GT. So we'll see if it's the same thing here. So let's get into a complete stop, and let's. Oh yeah. Oh, it bangs you into the gears. Wow. And when I turned off traction, it said Bentley Night Guard or Bentley Safeguard is off and stuff like that. But it that's I guess that's launch control. Other comments I want to say just while daily driving this thing is the fact that you have a very long vehicle. When changing lanes and stuff like that, this blind spot monitoring system is more sensitive or more conservative than, I guess, a normal car is. It would flash at you even though you're well beyond the there's like a safe distance from the car behind you. And I think that's just to be extra conservative, because you do have to be mindful. This feels more like you're driving, like, as far as like lengthwise, a truck. I'm gonna be comparing a truck as far as how it rides, because it doesn't. But yeah. Oh, and I didn't show you guys, this thing has 360 surround view cameras. You guys don't care about that. Let's just. Oh man. Yeah. I was just honestly, I haven't driven it much in sport mode until like right now, and that's just because I wanted to capture this on camera. I got on a little bit. I sensed in the gears and stuff. You have paddle shifters. I'm not gonna try to mess with those, honestly. They work. This is an 8-speed quick shifting transmission, ZF, but it works. It does a good job automatically, and that's just what I'm seeing right here. So we'll do one more launch. We've gotten it, a little bit up to temp. Let's get on this thing. Let's see. All right, we should have a good amount of time here. Ooh, yeah. The steering's a little stiffer. Ready? Let boost build up. Oh man! Yeah, waiting on it gave me a lot more push off the line. Man, it's just so planted. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this thing hauls. It masks its weight so well when you're on it. So the torque is just linear, and it just keeps on giving you more power. Revs out to 6,800 RPM, 4-liter V8. It sounds mean. And think of it this way. I don't notice any piped-in sound. It doesn't sound fake. But the exhaust is so far behind me. The fact that you get to enjoy that, imagine like through a tunnel, windows rolled down with the boys, even though the boys in the back have a pretty good time compared to the people in front. But hey, it is what it is. But like, I think this car is. That's what I like about Bentley, I guess, is that it's luxury, but they still have that performance in them. Where like, for a Rolls Royce, they don't care about performance as much. It's a luxury first, luxury second, luxury third. This is a luxury first, but performance is second. Performance is still there. It's still a priority. So, I think that's cool. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions on this vehicle or other vehicles, let me know in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.